So, the one thing that the Lakers did exceptionally well tonight was switch with purpose and intent. Their rotations on their switches were crisp, they were hounding ball handlers left and right, and they just overall looked so much more interconnected on defense, fighting through screens, making sure they were tagging their man, staying engaged and locked in even against a mismatch on a switch. And so let's just watch a couple of plays where the Lakers switching scheme actually looked good for once because everybody was actually focused, shuffling their feet, and engaged. So here we have Dante DiVincenzo. Austin's hounding him all the way up the court. He switches onto Jaden McDaniels. Rui picks McDaniels up. He passes the ball to Julius Randle. Look at LeBron James waving his hands like windmills. And then in the paint, look at Luka Doncic pushing Rudy Gobert out of the paint. Dante's got the ball. Look at Luka blitzing Dante DiVincenzo and pushing him out to the Lakers logo. This is just beautiful defense. When Luka's playing defense like this and bodying dudes up, and look, here's a mismatch with Austin on Julius Randle, but by this point, the shot clock's already down. Austin just has to force him baseline, so he has to take this tough fadeaway baseline shot. What a beautiful defensive sequence where all five guys were rotating, moving their feet, and locked in on whoever had the ball. Even if a guy didn't have the ball, as you saw with Luka pushing Rudy Gobert down low in the paint, he was being physical, he was bumping him off his spot. Every man on the floor did their defensive job to perfection. All right, this next defensive play, you're going to see Rui hounding Mike Conley the full length of the floor. Even before Mike Conley has crossed the half court line, he's already receiving pressure. And we are once again going to see the ways in which the Lakers are able to fluidly switch and stay locked in on the ball handler. Here's Mike Conley bringing the ball up. Rui kind of switches on Randle at this point. Watch him shuffle his feet. Randle drives. LeBron converges. LeBron closes out on Mike Conley, stays with him every step along the way, cuts off the driving lane. Watch the backline help. Jackson Hayes rotates. Now Rui switches onto Mike Conley. Shot clock's running down. Look at that beautiful defense. Conley has to pitch it out to Randle. Look at LeBron. Look at Hayes coming in with the help. Again, just another beautiful example of all of these different parts on the defensive end moving in concert with one another, reading and reacting on the defensive end, helping each other out, rotating to roll men, recovering and contesting out to shooters. Just another beautiful defensive sequence. All right, for this next defensive clip, I just really want to praise Rui Hachimura's defense. You're going to see what happens here, but Ant Edwards is bringing the ball up the court, and you're going to watch as DFS pressures him, and then Rui's going to switch onto him and do the rest of the work from there. But yeah, Rui had an amazing defensive game all night, and this is one of those plays where you're going to see him really shine and shuffle his feet, use his physicality to bump Ant Edwards off of his spot. So let's watch the play. DFS picks him up. Anthony Edwards snakes into the lane, but runs into Rui Hachimura. Rui Hachimura forces him to back up. Rui stays with him, and then Luka's there to help him out as well. You've got Dorian Finney-Smith battling down low in the paint, and watch Rui perfectly funnel Ant to the baseline where the help is, where Luka is, and Ant has to pass it out to Julius Randle, give the ball up where LeBron James can easily kind of take him one-on-one, and Julius is forced to put up that ugly shot off the glass. And here's Rui. So the Lakers don't get the offensive rebound here, but the shot clock has wound down enough that it doesn't matter. And even when the ball, careens off to the side there, Rui Hachimura and Austin Reeves are there to, sort of trap Anthony Edwards. So great job by Rui defending Anthony Edwards, staying disciplined, and kind of forcing him to the baseline where the out of bounds lines are serving as defenders, but Luka's also there for the help as well, eventually forcing Anthony Edwards to give up the ball. All right, for this next defensive play, you're going to see the Lakers pressuring the ball handler 90 feet of the court again, making sure that they don't cross the half court line unimpeded. And yeah, let's just watch the sequence unfold. Here's Rui cutting Mike Conley in his tracks, stopping him right in his tracks. Look at LeBron pressing up against Julius Randle. You'll notice the Lakers always pushing the Timberwolves out to the half-court line where that serves as another defender. Here's Austin Reeves. He's on Anthony Edwards, and he does a pretty good job staying in front of him. Anthony Edwards tries his dribble moves. LeBron starts to encroach upon his space, showing help. And look, Austin Reeves, perfectly disciplined, just puts his hands up, and Anthony Edwards is forced to take that tough jump shot. And then the Lakers kind of crash rebound from there. Here's Luka Doncic picking up Julius Randle. LeBron's got Gobert in the paint. He fights against Gobert, pushes him out of position. Can't go to Gobert. So Julius Randle has to take Luka himself. Luka with great physicality. Mike Conley cuts, but LeBron recovers. It looks like Rudy's going to get the board here. Nope, he's only able to tap it out, and Rui Hachimura skies in for the two-handed rebound. All right, this next play, we've got Luka Doncic guarding Anthony Edwards, and this is just another example of when Luka Doncic is this engaged on ball, then you know things are working right for the Lakers on the defensive end. And this play in particular is just going to be another example of even when there are holes in the Lakers' defensive game, tonight they really did a good job crashing the boards and helping each other out and just forcing the ball into guys who can't really do much with the ball. So you'll see what happens here. Here's Luka Doncic forcing the ball out of Anthony Edwards' hands once again. Austin Reeves picks up Mike Conley and then switches onto Ant. Mike Conley's actually able to get by Luka, but that's okay. And then DFS and Rui Hachimura come in to crowd rebound on Rudy Gobert, and Rui's able to actually secure the board. So this is what I'm talking about with the Lakers tonight and their improved rebounding intensity and the fact that they were helping each other out, crash the board, sandwich rebound against taller guys like Rudy Gobert, especially with Jackson Hayes in foul trouble for much of the night. All right, next defensive play, we are going to see the Lakers switching in full effect once again, and this is going to be another Rui Hachimura masterclass. Rui Hachimura on-ball defense on Anthony Edwards masterclass. So let's watch the play unfold. DFS, Austin Reeves switches on to Ant Edwards. Rudy sets the screen, kind of pushes Austin there, and Rui Hachimura crouches down low, defends Anthony Edwards, crossover. Rui's still there, forces Ant Edwards into the tough fadeaway jump shot. Lakers sandwich rebound, and LeBron comes up with the ball. And yeah, once again, very disciplined defense by Rui Hachimura. He just stays big and long and crouches down and does his best to stick with Anthony Edwards and sort of bait him into the tough jump shot. All right, next defensive play, we've got Jaden McDaniels taking the ball down the court, and you're going to watch as Luka Doncic pressures him first. And yeah, let's just watch this defensive sequence unfold. Luka picks him up. He knows Jaden McDaniels is not that shifty. He's going to have to give up the ball. That's a risky pass to Anthony Edwards. DFS picks him up, and now we've got Luka switched on to Anthony Edwards, and he bodies him up right there and then smacks the ball out of his hands. Rui Hachimura does a great job of walling off Rudy Gobert and securing the board for himself. So yeah, just great connective defense once again. Great read and react defense after Luka pokes the ball free and it somehow lands in Rudy Gobert's hands. Great job by Rui just keeping his hands up and kind of pinching him out to the baseline, out of bounds line where he's forced to put up a bad shot. All right, next play. Mike Conley at the top of the Lakers logo being guarded by Austin Reeves. Randall comes around to set a screen. Things are in motion now, so Austin Reeves switches out. DFS gets screened off by Gobert. Luka rotates over to Jaden McDaniels, who drives it into the lane, but look, he drives it right into DFS, who rotates over for the help, and Luka Doncic is able to get the rebound. So again, great help defense by the Lakers, great connective team defense by the Lakers. Next play, you see Julius Randle with the ball. Right side of the three-point line wing, LeBron James is guarding him, and him and Austin Reeves are sort of going to pinch the Timberwolves to the corner of that out-of-bounds line once again and really condense the court and muck things up. So here's Julius Randle. LeBron's guarding him. He's going to try and dribble hand this off to Anthony Edwards, but Austin Reeves is ready. LeBron James is ready. Perfectly switches on to Ant Edwards and immediately crowds him, forces him back out near the logo. Ant Edwards has to spend some time dribbling the ball, By the time he passes it to Julius Randle, Austin Reeves just crowds his space immediately. Time is running out. He has to pass it to Rudy Gobert. Jackson Hayes rotates, bodies him up, and Rudy Gobert is not able to get off a good shot. Here's Julius Randle. He's going to pass it to Jaden McDaniels. Let's watch the rotations here. Randle sets a down screen for Anthony Edwards to get the ball. LeBron is ready for it. And look, they're already pushing them out to the logo. LeBron picks Ant Edwards up. Conley's going to try and set a screen, but Jackson Hayes is there with the help. Immediately, LeBron blitzes and forces Ant Edwards to have to throw it back out to Mike Conley. Mike Conley looks like he has an open three-point shot, but Jackson Hayes is right there to contest that shot. Next play, we've got Mike Conley dribbling the ball up the court. Rui Hachimura is going to pick him up. Let's watch this play unfold. Again, no easy crossing of the half-court line by any Minnesota Timberwolf because of all the pressure the Lakers are putting on the ball handler. Look at how crowded this space is up near the Lakers logo. The Timberwolves can't even get to the paint at this point. None of their ball handlers can because Rui switches on Randle. Now he's the one pressuring. Randle's just dribbling the air out of the ball. Rui Hachimura stays with him the entire way. And look, doesn't bite on the pump fake. This is probably something the Lakers staff told the Lakers, stop biting on pump fakes. And that was just a perfect defensive sequence by the Lakers and Rui Hachimura in particular. Let's just watch the sequence once again. Mike Conley, I don't know why he picks up his dribble because Rui Hachimura crowds his space, and now LeBron crowds Julius Randle's space. Jackson Hayes rotates over to Mike Conley in the paint. Rudy Gobert sets the screen, but Rui Hachimura switches on to Randle, and watch him in lockstep with Julius Randle the entire way through. Does not bite on the pump fake. That is huge. Doesn't bite it. Well, he finally bites because Julius Randle has to put up an ugly shot. All right, next play, we've got LeBron and DFS, right wing of the three-point line. They're going to pressure Dante DiVincenzo. I don't even know what's going on at this point. Let's just watch. Look at LeBron and DFS pressuring DiVincenzo. They know he wants to give the ball to Randle. Randle even sets him a screen to try and get the ball in the post. Doesn't matter. LeBron once again pushing DiVincenzo out there. Look at this tough pass, and DFS is able to swipe the ball out of bounds. Next play, we've got Anthony Edwards with the ball in his hands. Austin Reeves has picked him up. Rudy Gobert is about to set the screen. We're going to watch Jackson Hayes do something here. Jackson Hayes switches on to Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards, it gets blitzed by Austin Reeves. By this point, he has to pass it out to Julius Randle. Rui Hachimura is right there, closes out on the shooter. No open three-point shots tonight, and it's an air ball for Julius Randle. So it looks like the Lakers learned a thing or two about closing out to three-point shooters and crowding their space. Next play, Julius Randle bringing the ball up the court once again. Austin Reeves picks him up, pressures him at the point of attack, keeps that hand out there, that hand check hand. Julius Randle tries to drive, shoves him off a little bit. Austin Reeves reaches, pokes the ball loose, isn't able to get it, but he's right back into the play, and so are the Lakers. Jaden McDaniels tries to drive it into the lane. Nope, Austin Reeves stays disciplined, just keeps his hands up, all this pivoting, and Jaden McDaniels has to take this very tough fadeaway jump shot. No 11 of 13, 25 points for Jaden McDaniel tonight. Last play, we've got Anthony Edwards with the ball. He's going to get the Rudy Gobert screen and try to free himself up, but Austin Reeves is tracking him every step along the way, and also Jackson Hayes is there to help. Comes off the screen. Jackson Hayes is there to shadow Anthony Edwards. Oh, they bite on the pump fake, which was bad, but Jackson Hayes is able to recover and block the shot. And so, again, this is another example of the Lakers just having that second and third effort on defense, even when they're out of place, even when they bite on a pump fake, which they didn't do much of tonight because I thought they were very disciplined. And I think the Lakers were rewarded for their extra efforts and their physicality. All right, so that does it for this video. I wanted to just throw all the clips that I could find out there and just kind of ramble over them really quick so I could get this out fast. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I know it was a bit of a mess, but dude, the Lakers really mucked things up. They really made things ugly and messy for the Timberwolves. So I felt like this video was sort of emblematic of all of that, but in a good way. Again, 85 points, season low for the Timberwolves. It wasn't pretty, especially not at the end because the Lakers couldn't hit a shot. But when you are playing with that much intensity, that much physicality, that much engagement, and everybody is giving 110% effort around you, this is sort of what you can do against a long, physical, athletic team like the Timberwolves. It almost didn't matter that the Lakers weren't hitting their wide open 3-point shots because they were so together on defense, and it was really inspiring to watch. Whether the Lakers can actually sustain this moving forward, I don't know, especially in a hostile environment up in Minnesota. It's going to be interesting to see if the Lakers can bring this much fight and oomph on the defensive end, but this is the blueprint for them. And we're going to see how much they really want it because tonight they really wanted it and it showed. And they really put their bodies on the line, took the hits, and punched the hell back once or twice more. So kudos to the Lakers. Great game two. Series is now tied 1-1. And yeah, please do me the huge favor of liking this video, commenting down below, and most importantly, please hitting subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. This has been Jonathan Hernandez of the Lakers Legacy Podcast, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.